If your brain feels like a browser with 87 tabs open and nothing is loading, then today's session is for you. Let this video be your Control-Alt-Delete. Today, what we're going to do is take a look at invisible busy work. These are the bills, product brainstorming ideas, the 50,000 unread emails, and start turning your personal chaos into clear, calm systems using AI. Hi, I'm Sandy England from Surge Foundry, and we build with heart and automate and scale with AI. In this mini-series, I'm going to be not chasing technology for technology's sake, but rather what I'd like to do instead is show you how you can use AI to create space for what matters in life. Today, we're going to learn how to take your biggest friction points and turn them into a structured automation plan step by step. So we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to creating or brainstorming and capturing repetitive tasks you perform on a routine basis or ad hoc basis. You're going to choose your automation wins. And then in the future episodes, we're going to be using a popular mind mapping tool called XMind AI to map the entire workflow. So we know exactly what the steps are that we need to automate and in what order. So big companies and the federal government, where I worked for 28 years, have formal frameworks that they use to help them identify their top projects, so the things that they want to prioritize and spend their money on. So we're going to borrow from that framework and tailor it to work with individuals like you and me. So by the end of this episode, you're going to identify what's stealing your focus and select the first task that you'd like to automate and turn into a calm, automated workflow. You're going to walk away with a reusable framework that you can use over and over again to automate your repetitive manual tasks, and you can use this as your own personal automation blueprint. All right, so I've put together a quick guide called How to Turn Everyday Manual Tasks into Automated Workflows Using AI Smartly and Securely. Today, we're going to be focused on the discovery process, which is brainstorming ideas and categorizing them and evaluating them and prioritizing them. Which ones do we want to automate first? So first, we're going to clarify our focus in step one. And then we're going to brainstorm a list of tasks that we're going to be performing on a regular, recurring, or ad hoc basis. We're going to use this simple spreadsheet to score, evaluate, and select the top workflows that we want to automate. Then we're going to visually map out our top workflow using a popular mind mapping tool. And so we're going to start by brainstorming where does our energy actually go? We can use AI, we can use a simple spreadsheet to help brainstorm, document, and evaluate what is worth automating first. So in step one, clarify your focus. First, we need to clarify which areas of your life or business require the most space and ask, where am I burning energy on repeat? What part of your life or business do you want to simplify or automate first? Where do you spend the most energy for the least return? So you can include areas from your personal life, your business or work life, or both. My goal in the example I'm going to be using today is to reduce the mental load both at home and in my new business. So in step two, brainstorm and capture your chaos. Now I'm going to take some time to brainstorm and capture recurring tasks, frustrations, routines that I know that I perform more than once. So I want you to also consider, what are the tasks that are eating up your time and focus or money? The goal is to clearly see and get visibility into where your friction is. So I want you to open up your preferred tool and create automation matrix. And I want you to add a table with the following columns. First column is task, and that is the recurring issue or a manual task that you want to track or improve. Frequency, how often does it happen? Is it daily, weekly, monthly, ad hoc, or another duration or frequency? Is it private? If that task processes or stores sensitive data that requires privacy protection. That could be personally identifiable information, or what we call PII. So your name, your address, your social security number, your birth date, things that would be able to be used to identify you. Next is impact. That's how much time money or energy it saves, the feasibility, how easy is it to automate, the alignment, does it support your most important goals, and then the risk, how sensitive or error prone that data is. Now, we're going to be making a list of everything that clutters your day. So you can include tasks that you want to address on a more consistent basis. All right, so next, this is where we're going to use AI to assist us in the brainstorming process. Again, this is not to have AI do the work for you and decide for you, but really to help surface common pitfalls, hidden patterns, things, a lot of people experience, so you may not be alone. And we can surface those and they can help inform you and be part of the brainstorming process. Okay, so I wanted to take a minute to explain this prompt that we're going to be using. What I've done here is rather than just say, hey, ChatGPT, give me a list of the top 10 pain points or manual tasks that people often need to automate in their business or in their life. That's a generic prompt and you're going to get generic results. So what I've done here instead is we've applied the principles of advanced prompt engineering to come up with something that's going to get us a better, more accurate result that is more tailored to our personal needs because we have taken the time to actually talk through the context. So I'm going to provide the advanced prompt in the SOP that I'm going to be leaving under the video. So first of all, we talked through the role, basically saying you're an AI automation strategist, objective, clearly that laid out what the objective is. And then the context is where I want you to spend a little bit of time and write up 2 to 3 paragraphs describing your real situation. And so I'm going to show you in a second what I've put in for my context. And then the deliverables are going to be, I come back with a list of 10 items that include the task, why it drains energy, why it's valuable to automate, and a starter idea. And I've also provided some constraints. Your typical thing, like don't give me generic advice, give me a verbose enough of an answer that I can do something with it, and then provide back a prioritization based on what you think is the highest value. So with that said, I'm going to switch over to my large language model of choice. And for today, I chose to use a relatively new browser called Comet, which is made by Perplexity. And basically it has an embedded chat component. So you are basically chatting with your browser. Perplexity is really well known for high quality research. It provides references when it provides you with a response. So it's good for people who are researchers to use. And so I thought this might be a good browser to use for today's exercise. So what I wanted to point out is here's the prompt that we just went through. And here is the context that I took some extra time to write up. What are my needs? And so I basically walked through, and I can provide this as an example. I'm not going to read it out because it's long, but basically I spelled out what are my pain points? What are the things that I'm focused on right now? Where are my biggest areas of concern? It kind of games it a little bit, but it will be useful because it will weed out stuff that I don't really care about so much. All right, so Comet came back with its list of top 10 high-impact, repetitive, and decision-heavy tasks that quietly drain time and energy for solo business owners. I'm going to quickly run through them. Number 1 on the list is affiliate offer and link verification. So manually checking dozens of offers to confirm if they're active, relevant, and reputable, to make sure they're not outdated, to make sure they're not broken. That's a good one. The next one on the list is email sales offer prioritization and categorization. I've got a lot of unread emails. To be able to go through all those emails and apply business logic and rules to help categorize and streamline would definitely make sense. The next one is expense categorization and monthly budget review. This is another key area that would be valuable to be able to go through on a monthly basis at month end and make sure I'm categorizing transactions. If we can automate that process, that would be fabulous. And the next one is subscription tracking and renewal, another great area to focus. If you have a growing list of SaaS subscriptions that are wasting money, maybe you've got more than one tool that do roughly the same thing. You don't need both. So you can make decisions around which one to keep, which one to get rid of. Next one, domain portfolio evaluation. If you have like a large list of domain names that are sitting unused, then you likely would benefit. We can automate the process of determining whether or not the domain name would be a good fit. How can you make use of it? What offers or products can you use to match to it so you can start making money with your domains? The next area is evaluating offers. So deciding which affiliate offers you're going to be promoting. So on a routine basis, you might be manually checking Munch for upcoming product releases. You might have an existing list of affiliate links that you've been approved for. Well, how are you going to decide which ones to promote? So that's a lot of different market research that you would perform and best fit analysis. So that would be a great area. Number 7, market research, scraping, and aggregation. Manually visiting dozens of forums, social platforms, and research sites eats up hours each week and produces scattered notes with a high risk of missing key trends and insights. This is another really good area to focus to speed up the market research process. Number 8, bonus product ideation and content drafting. Why it drains energy? Because brainstorm bonuses that complement the product you're going to be promoting takes up an enormous amount of time and energy. Number 9, project planning and idea pipeline management. Sifting through brainstorming notes and project ideas for prioritization causes fragmentation and decision fatigue, leading to paralysis by analysis or missed opportunities. Definitely true. And then number 10, recurring task and routine process automation. Small but frequent manual routines, such as posting content, sending reminder emails, updating sheets, booking appointments, all these tasks sap focus and add to major time losses over a month. This number 10 is what we're doing right now. You can come up with a process like this to figure out what to automate. So that's a pretty good list. Spot on. We're going to take these 10 ideas now and we're going to put them into the spreadsheet, the automation matrix. Okay, so I've created a simple table in Excel. You can use Google Sheets, you can use Excel, you can use Notion, whatever tool you want to, with the columns that we talked about earlier: task, frequency, privacy, impact, feasibility, alignment, and risk. And we've got a weighted score column. What I'm going to do is take the results from the analysis we just performed and paste them in. Okay, now what I've done in the meantime is that I have gone through each one of these recurring tasks and I have done my own scoring. And I want you to do the same. So I'm going to want you to go through all the tasks that you've brainstormed, your top 10 that you came up with, and go through each one, which we're going to use to evaluate which one will be our quick win that we want to focus on first. Seeing your chaos organized in this way really is part of the win. You get visibility into like what is causing you to slow down. Like where could you automate that would increase your speed to market or would take time off your hands so that you could focus on more strategic or creative activities. So this is making the process as quantifiable as possible. What I've done here, I've gone through each one of these tasks and I have weighted it. In the last column is the weighted score. I've populated that with a formula. You can tweak it according to your liking. Basically, the way I would break this down is impact, feasibility, and alignment, each an equal weighting of 33%. If you look, it's taking impact and multiplying it times 33 in feasibility and alignment, and then dividing by the risk, and that's shrinking the result. So if risk is greater than 1, for instance, dividing by 2 cuts the value in half. So higher the risk reduces the final score. You can adjust and tune the weightings to your liking. So it has identified that the top 2 candidates are the affiliate offer and link verification and market research, scraping, and aggregation. Those are 2 areas we can explore in the next episode. I'll pick one and map out what the workflow needs to look like. One way to look at this is high impact and low risk would be your priority items. Feasibility tells you how achievable it is right now, and alignment reminds you to automate what matters, not just what's possible. So that is the process. I wanted to wrap it up and say the process that we followed today mirrors how a typical enterprise AI team would go about the process of identifying tasks that they could automate and prioritize them. So this is not about what's possible, but what is worth doing. You're not automating for the sake of automating or for novelty's sake. You are automating for peace of mind and momentum. Now we have a clear list of tasks, an impact-based scoring system, and a set of prompts that help us to think strategically. We're using a simple set of tools, spreadsheet, and your large language model of choice to build our automation matrix. We've used a set of criteria such as impact, feasibility, alignment, and risk. In the next couple of episodes, we're going to move from doing the numbers to mapping out what the flow looks like. We're going to map out the workflow, a popular mind mapping tool. I'm going to use XMind, and then we're going to pick one and implement it in a future session. So with that said, building with heart, automating with intention, and scaling what actually matters. I'm Sandy, and this is Automating Peace of Mind. Thank you.